There's a pattern that repeats itself, not in the imagination of a novelist, not in the theories of a conspiracy theorist, but in documents, in names, in verifiable facts. A pattern that connects two specific moments in the history of the Church, February 2013 and April 2026. Two popes, two interferences, the same direction. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the statement an archbishop made public this week may be the most important one in the last 12 years for understanding what's really happening in the Vatican. Let's start with the facts. In April 2026, Archbishop Carlo Maria Viganò, former Apostolic Nuncio to the United States and former Secretary General of the Vatican Governorate, released a public statement that circulated the mainstream media in a matter of hours. His words are precise. Did Axelrod perhaps come to the Vatican to dictate a specific political strategy to Leo, just as Hillary Clinton had previously interfered to pressure Benedict XVI to abdicate and facilitate Bergoglio's election? This isn't a rhetorical question. It's a well-founded one. Viganò cites specific facts. It was precisely the shutdown of the Vatican ATMs, ordered by the Clinton administration in coordination with John Podesta, that constituted the final financial pressure that preceded the resignation of Benedict XVI on February 11, 2011. On April 9, 2026, Leo XIV received in a private audience David Axelrod, Barack Obama's chief strategist, his senior advisor for 8 years at the White House. Axelrod later told Fox News that the meeting had been planned months in advance and had no political connection. But the question Viganò raises is more subtle. Why Axelrod? And why now? LifeSite News reported Viganò's statement in full, adding a canonical element that few have emphasized. Canon 332 of the Code of Canon Law establishes that coercion invalidates a papal resignation. If Benedict XVI was pressured, financially, diplomatically, through the bank shutdown, his resignation may not have been canonically valid. Let's pause for a moment. Who is Viganò today, and why do his words matter? Carlo Maria Viganò was one of the most powerful men in the Vatican. As Apostolic Nuncio in Washington between 2010 and 2015, he had direct access to conversations between the Holy See and the American government. He knows how that machine works. He knows who's calling whom. He knows when interference is random and when it's structured. The Vatican excommunicated him in July 2024 for schism, but the excommunication does not erase the facts it documents. And the facts he cites in this statement do not come from him. They come from WikiLeaks files, from American diplomatic cables, from the LifeSite News archives. Let's understand who David Axelrod is and why his presence in the Vatican is so significant. Axelrod is not a journalist, not an academic, not a career diplomat. He is the political mastermind who built the Obama presidency. He is the man who knew better than anyone else how to use the media, narrative, and power networks to shape public perception. According to Viganò, the Obama administration itself, through Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State and John Podesta as advisor, orchestrated the financial pressure on the Vatican in 2013. The circle is now complete. There's a second level to consider. We're not just talking about two separate episodes. We're talking about a method. A method that American political power, regardless of which party is in government, has already demonstrated it knows how to use against a pope who does not fall into line. Benedict XVI opposed three specific things: mass migration, without cultural integration, the normalization of relations with communist China, and the secularizing agenda in Western institutions. On these three fronts, his teaching was a concrete obstacle, and within a few months, under financial pressure, he resigned. Leo XIV, during his brief pontificate, openly opposed Trump on the war in Iran, defended Islamic immigration to Europe, and received the Obama-era's chief strategist in a private audience. We're not saying he's a puppet. We're saying that the context in which he operates is the same context in which Benedict was removed. Here lies the paradox that no one wants to name. While Trump attacks Leo XIV on Truth Social, calling him weak on crime and terrible on foreign policy, the progressive world defends him. And the same networks that had an interest in removing Benedict now seem comfortable with the new pontificate. The Pentagon had summoned the American Apostolic Nuncio, Cardinal Pierre, as early as January 2026, invoking the Avignon papacy as an implicit warning: you know where you can end up. Now Axelrod is in private audience with Leon. The signal is different, but the sender is from the same environment. The question every traditionalist is asking these days is this: is history really repeating itself? Or are we witnessing something different? A pontificate that doesn't need to be checked because it's already aligned. Benedict XVI wrote to the German bishops in 2012, "The true enemy of the faith is not the external persecutor, but the internal colonization of the Christian soul by the spirit of the world." That phrase carries double weight today. Here we are at the moment. The repeating pattern is not proof of the omnipotence of global power. It is proof of its weakness. Because every time secular power interferes in the church, it leaves a trace, a document, a cable, an archive. And every trace becomes proof that tradition was right. The church does not belong to politicians. It does not belong to banks. It does not belong to Washington strategists. It belongs to Christ, and Christ never lost a battle, even when it seemed like he was losing. If this content helped you see more clearly what's really happening, you can support this work with a super thanks. It's the most direct way to keep this kind of analysis going, without compromise and without filters. What do you think? If you liked the video, comment, "Amen." God bless you.